For more, let's bring in psychotherapist and author of Therapy Nation, Jonathan Alpert. Jonathan, thank you. I want to get right to it. If you look at social media, it might have you thinking that there's going to be a draft. There isn't, but there's a lot of hand-wringing online. So what is going on?
Well, and this is just another example of how anxiety and panic and catastrophic thinking is driving a lot of people's way of processing information, and social media certainly isn't helping with this. And, we have people who surround themselves in an echo chamber, and it's only making things worse. And as a therapist, for almost a decade now, I've spent my weeks trying to help people deal with their anxiety. When Trump first came onto the scene, it was he's going to start World War III, investments will suffer, et cetera, and people were ready to pack their bags and head to Canada. None of them ever did. So I guess my advice to people, especially patients, is try to separate fact from fiction.
I guess the irony here also is that if there were to be a draft, it's like an overwhelming majority, according to a Pentagon study, that Gen Z wouldn't qualify because of all of the prevalent mental health issues and also drug use, obesity, other health problems. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I actually attribute that to my profession. I feel that therapists are creating problems when they don't exist. If you have a bad day, that doesn't mean that you're depressed. If you have a disagreement with a friend, that doesn't mean that that friend is toxic. If you forget things or you forget an appointment, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have ADHD, but we essentially have my profession that's pathologized ordinary life experiences, and that's actually a big theme in my forthcoming book, Therapy Nation, and it really needs to be examined, my profession. But as far as the draft, you have to wonder, will we have these Gen Z now claiming TDS, even though it doesn't actually exist, just to be exempt from the draft that doesn't exist?
Speaking of, you've had a lot of lawmakers talking about calls that they're getting to their offices after this past week, and the president's rhetoric saying that he's going to end civilization. They're calling for 25th Amendment, but people are melting down. Are you seeing a spike in TDS, I guess, is the question?
If it existed, yes. And a lot of the pathology that I see, high anxiety, fixation on Trump, inability to relax or even take a vacation, it is dominating a lot of the patients that I see. And, I think what's happened here is this is partially grievance culture where people need someone to hate and project their anxieties.
We got to leave it there on that happy note. That's